俺はお前を見捨てない。見捨てられるもんか。
Tales of Grace's Remastered takes us to the fantasy world of Afinia, which is divided among 3 countries, Winder, Strata, and Fendel. The main character of the game, Aspelant. Years ago, the protagonist befriended a girl suffering from amnesia named Sophie, who sacrificed herself to save him from a monster. When his hometown is attacked 7 years later, an unchanged Sophie unexpectedly appears in Aspel's path. Wanting to solve the mystery of his companion and stop the invasion of his homeland, the protagonist becomes entangled in an intrigue of a large caliber, reaching the highest levels of power.
帰るべき場所へ。
Destruction and renewal unfolds in this return to the Ender Lily's world.
The action of Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist, is set several dozen years after the Reign of Death and other events from the first game. The game takes us to the land of fumes, where rich deposits of magical resources were discovered under the surface. To accelerate their extraction, artificial forms of life known as homunculi were created, humanoid creatures resembling wrinkled small children, which in the Middle Ages, unsuccessfully, alchemists tried to bring to life. Unfortunately, the poisonous fumes emanating from the bowels of the earth first drove them to madness, and then turned them into monsters.
This line of work, my friend, is not an easy one.
Thief Simulator 2 is a first-person game. The game tasks players with exploring large, diverse locations and robbing various places. These include insufficiently secured houses, shops, and even banks. Players need to properly prepare for each heist, being perceptive, careful, and dexterous. They'll get to use various kinds of equipment, ranging from crowbars to technologically advanced tools. There are also plenty of simple puzzles and sneaking around the guards. Other than goods, the playable character can also steal cars, regular SUVs, sedans, and even expensive sports cars. The game is based on the pillars erected by its predecessors, allowing us to lead a chosen historical civilization and follow its development to domination over the other nations. We can achieve victory by conquering new territories, building cities and expanding existing ones, taking care of economic and technological development, as well as subordinating other civilizations through war or using diplomacy with goals similar to ours. During the game, we take on the role of a leader whom we choose for the entire game.
An action RPG set in the supernatural West.
As the title suggests, Weird West takes us on a journey to the world, which is a variation on the Wild West, in which besides cowboys and bandits, there are fantastic elements such as magic or various monsters. Game allows us to play as 5 characters, a bounty hunter, an Indian archer, a Onerist who is effectively a magician, a werewolf, and a pigman. Although at first, the adventures of the individual characters may seem unconnected, they eventually merge into a coherent whole. We get to know their stories one by one over the course of successive chapters. The plot is shaped by our actions and decisions, which not only determine the fate of individual protagonists, but also affect the entire world presented.
Change the West forever.
The action of Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter takes place after the events depicted in the original. While the Great War between the rodents and the frogs has ended in the south, the northern, icy and snow-covered lands of Ratum must face a new threat. They are the forces of evil called Darkwings, driven by a thirst for blood and revenge. The main character of the game is Alo, the young heir to the title of Warden of the Wastes, who decides to face the danger. To accomplish this, he will have to embark on a long journey, unite the feuding clans, and also develop both his own skills and the family settlement.
Tales of Iron 2.
The game is set in a dystopian, cyberpunk future. Its protagonist is Johnny Turbo, a cyborg mercenary returning to his hometown of Paradise. Once there, he finds the city taken over by an AI called Sin, which possessed the citizens and implemented a reign of terror using its cybernetic army. In desperate need of money, Johnny accepts the seemingly suicidal job to destroy the AI, facing off against its minions and rival bounty hunters.
Rejoice.
The action takes place in a fantasy land slightly enriched with elements from Chinese mythology. The first part tells the story of a teenager named Tyr McDull, who is the son of a general in the Scarlet Moon Empire. When his father goes on a war campaign against the rebels, the hero, along with his servants and best friend, enters a military academy. While serving this institution, he comes into possession of a magical rune sought by corrupt mighty men and a court sorceress. The young man is forced to save himself by fleeing and joins the rebels. The action of Suikoden begins sometime after the events of the first part. The plot of the game focuses on the conflict between the Highland Kingdom and the city-state of Joustin. The main character is a soldier of the former nation who, together with a friend, discovers a conspiracy to torpedo peace talks and prolong the war.
何度も何度も記憶をたどる
Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories, and the Envisioned land takes us to a fantasy world. Alchemy was deemed a bad art here and pushed to the margins, which contributed to the fall of the once mighty Aladistan Empire. The main character of the game is the titular Yumi Leesfeld, who travels through this picturesque land, trying to solve the mystery of the collapse of the empire, as well as find out why her mother hid the fact that she was an alchemist from her. Other characters join the protagonist during her journey. Gameplay in Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories, and the Envisioned land, we watch the action from a third-person perspective TPP. The game provides us with an open world consisting of a variety of diverse biomes. When exploring them, we get to know their inhabitants and carry out various quests, as well as engage in clashes with enemies.
母は禁忌を破った悪人だったの。ユミヤのことどうか